Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gaming Droid and welcome back to modern Skyblock 3. We're just going to let the world load in. So you might notice a couple of things going on. Basically I've been doing a little bit of work off camera. I've been breeding up chickens. Chicken breeding is extremely boring. Literally all you do is look up the chicken in here. I showed some at the end of the last episode, but I've been doing some breeding off thing. You look up the recipe here, red quartz chicken and redstone chicken, turn into a glass chicken. You breed those two together. You can also breed chickens with their own species and get them up to higher ranks. The max rank is 10, 10, 10. And I've noticed this about roosts. If I put one chicken in this roost, you can see that it ticks up like that, which is reasonably fast. If I throw in another 15 chickens, it ticks up that quick. So the number of chickens you have, so you don't have to spread your chickens out. You can actually put multiple chickens in one. Now, from the experiments I've done, having one chicken in each of 16 coops would be faster, but not that much faster. So we've got rubber, glowstone, we've got constant tan, steel, iron. So what I've got is I've got a rubber chicken, glowstone chicken, iron chicken, redstone chicken, steel chicken, and a constant tan chicken going at the moment just because those were things that I needed. In the meantime, while I have been breeding chickens over in our breedery, we're currently breeding together a few different kinds of chicken. This is my coal chicken that I'm upgrading, so that's better than that one, and that is better than that one. So let's breed those. While I have been breeding these chickens up, trying to get the next layer of chickens, I've also been working a little bit on getting all of these materials ready and together. I should have enough. This is still doing this. What are you standing on? I swear, like, there is no way to stop these cats from spawning. It's so frustrating that there is literally no way to stop those cats from spawning. Anyway, I have been working on getting everything together, so I think what I should be able to do if I go to satellite, I should be able to make a whole bunch of these, and then a whole bunch of these. Nope. Whole bunch of these. 2 stacks, and 2 stacks will get us, if we have more wire. Use up a lot of aluminium, but luckily aluminium's not hard to come by. Gonna need some more wool, but again, not difficult to come by. There's 21. We actually need 3 more, so I was a little bit off with my calculations, but that's fine. We'll grab some lapis and we'll go and stick that on to cook. In the meantime, I've also been getting bronze out of the broken tools, so I've been stacking up on bronze. I did set up 2 blast furnaces, because you can see that in here I've got 54 reinforced blast brick. I did set up a couple of blast furnaces to get me some steel, but then I got the steel chicken, and yeah, things have been ticking along just fine. I have realised that I didn't rewire my wood into the system, so these are all backed up with wood and apples and leaves and things. I haven't actually wired the wood back into the system, and I still have wood available. The other thing I did, if I go to UU Matter, is I've been using this system to create crates, and then I've been just throwing the crates through my UU Matter system. Like that, and just getting myself tons and tons of UV matter. In the meantime, my automated ore generators are generating me iron ore at the moment, which is good. And then after the iron ore, we're going to move on to gold. I might do a little bit of aluminium after that, because we do need some aluminium. There we go. There's 24. Oh, actually, no. We need another 24 on top of that. Crikey, we need a lot. There's 3. We need some of the heavy wire. Should have plenty of string. We've got 13,000 strings, so that's fine. Let's spend, say, 3,000 string on wool. There we go, that's 3,000 string spent on wool. Get a stack of that. And then we should be able to... Yep, so we've got enough of those. We can make one more satellite in the satellite builder, and then we can get some more of these full solar panels. I'll probably pause it while I get the solar panels together, because unfortunately there's no real fast way to make solar panels. So what I'll do is I'll skip forward to the point where we have the solar panels. Okay, there we go. We have another 24 of these, so we can make another satellite. For some reason we have lead dust. I have no idea why or where that came from. Let's get you. See how our chickens are breeding. We've got another glass chicken. This does actually speed up the breeding process as well by putting these chickens over here. It does make it tick up slightly faster. That's a good one, and that's a good one. That's why I've set the cloches up over there, is just to get enough seeds to do this. It takes a lot of seeds. So what other chickens are we doing, by the way, at the moment? Chickens, we are doing the sapphire, diamond, obsidian, saltpeter, rich slag chicken. It's slag and slag, okay. We only have one slag chicken. Slag chicken is iron and redstone. Slag and slag chicken. There we go. The 10-10-10 chickens do make breeding easier, but getting them up to 10-10-10 is very difficult. So now we need a satellite controller. So we want the satellite controller, which is 2 satellites, 2 heavy wires, and advanced wafer and some compressed aluminium. Have all of that. And then we need a telescope from Galacticraft. Or from Planet Progression. So we need 2 blocks of diamond, tin, aluminium, and glass pane. We should have all of that. So there we go. So if we go down to space and beyond, we've got launching satellites into space. To launch a satellite in space, you're going to need to launch a satellite rocket. You're going to need 3x3 launch pad and fuel loader and fill it with fuel. You're going to need a satellite controller to collect data from your satellites. Once it's finished collecting data, you'll get a research paper which you can use in a telescope to discover a planet. And then it wants us to make the tier 1 rocket. So we also need to make fuel. Now, it's not actually asked us to make fuel anywhere. So let's put you down. And then let's have a look at Launchpad. So here's our Launchpad. So, and then we need a fuel loader, which I think we have in our system because we had to make one. Fuel loader. Now I'm pretty sure what we do is we just whop this down like that. Like that. No. Inventory / fuel, none. So options, controls, let's look up Galacticraft. Be down in the cheese. Mechanism, megaloot. Journey map. Galacticraft. Open spaceship inventory. Right shift then. Let's see if that works. Okay, inventory. So do I put this in there? Place in cargo of satellite. Yes, I think so. Yeah, we're getting fuel. It's got a satellite. So we then just need to go and put our satellite... Wow, it sticks you into F5 mode straight away. Interesting. Okay. So we need to find the power conduit, which we should have around... Where have we got a power conduit? We've got a power conduit here. So if we go bloop, There's a power conduit. Let's grab some power cable. You on top of there. Do you need to receive RF from the top? I think you do. Fair enough. There we go. Now, is there any kind of like satellite ID chip we need? Stop loading fuel. Okay, so I think what we do now, I've never done this before, by the way. I've never done this before. So I think we do that. Yes? If I press launch, there's no going. There we go. And then I hop out. Because I don't want to go into space. I want to send the satellite into space. Right? Where's Galacticraft? So I think to launch satellites in space, you're going to need satellite rockets. You're going to need a 3x3 launch pad, a fuel load, a fill. So I think that's right. Although I may have done that entirely wrong. I've done that entirely wrong, haven't I? I needed to go up in the rocket. I bet you I needed to go up in the rocket to launch the satellite. Okay, so we're back. So I've made the rocket. I've made myself another satellite. I've gone and got my spacesuit. The spacesuit is from Extra Planets. We need planets. Because we did make the spacesuit in the last one. I want to know if there's a way to charge the spacesuit. Refinery, vehicle charger, fuel loader, basic purifier, crystallizer, destabilizer, ultimate solar panel. I'm just looking for a way at the moment to charge my spacesuit. Because the spacesuit does have an energy layer. And I'm not sure if I need to charge it. Because I can't charge it in just a normal energetic infuser. Those are the oxygen items. Yeah, I can't see any way to charge my spacesuit. But what I'm hoping now, and what I'm going to do to kind of secure that hope to a certain extent, is I'm going to put away basically everything. The only things I'm going to have on me are going to be my Spectre key, my wireless crafting terminal, and most importantly, where is my teleport necklace, my return home charm. So these things will get me home if I need to, and they will protect me from oxygen loss. So, we've got the things that we need. We can put you in here. We've got the satellite. So we have full fuel. We have a basic satellite attached. Let's launch ourselves and see if this is how we release the satellite, because just sending a rocket up didn't work. And the rocket got destroyed. I can see the little thing on the left-hand side of the screen. This rocket is massive on that thing on the left-hand side of the screen. This is a huge rocket. Like, this is far bigger than any of the ones from basic Galacticraft. Like, planet progression obviously adds a lot to Galacticraft. And as soon as our head reaches the top, we should get given an option menu, I hope. and I don't like insta-die. I have got an oxygen tank with oxygen in it. Satellite has been launched into space. And I survived. I survived that fall. Okay. So it might have been good to have a parachute first, but I survived that fall. And this guy is actually doing research. Excellent. So we are on the way to doing research. So as we're doing that, it wants us to make a tier 1 rocket. So as it wants us to make a tier 1 rocket, if we go to compressed, we're going to need bronze, bronze, steel. Okay, so one set of bronze, one more set of steel. We also need some aluminium, which we haven't got because I had to use it all up. I made tons of this stuff and I had to use it all up making the blinking tier rocket because I accidentally made like all those blinking plates. All those blinking plates that I didn't need. Let's have a look at the chickens. We haven't got any of the good slag chickens yet. Yeah, I did throw them away. I threw them away in a fit of pique. And over in our NASA workbench, we're going to throw down the nose cones, the fins, the rocket, and I'm going to put some chests on it. Oh, it spat everything out. I thought it would store things. I'm going to put some chests in it because chests just give us storage capacity. Which is not a bad idea. Now, worst case scenario, because I've got my return home charm, I can teleport back to this dimension from any other dimension, which is one of the really good things about the return home charm. Is the return home charm will allow me to come back here from anywhere. Oh, does it want me to make one? Okay, I'm going to cheese that, guys, because basically it wants me to make one without storage. And the only difference between one without storage and one with storage is whether or not you put chests in it. I think those should be all acceptable, personally. So I personally think all of those should be acceptable, regardless of their size. So now it wants us to go to the moon. Tier 1 rocket, you can travel to the moon, where you can find cheese ore and meteors with meteoric iron. Cheese curd and meteoric iron. Okay, so that's what we want to get to next. What I can do is if I go to my Spectre key location, I can pick up another oxygen tank. I've set up a thermoelectric generator in here, and you can see that it's generating more power than is needed. Because this thing is currently operating at 100%. This is generating oxygen, this is compressing it and putting it in the tank, and this is still getting power. So it doesn't really matter, kind of like, these things are always going to generate power. I do want to chunk load this so that the tanks are full all the time, but it doesn't massively matter. So there's our second full heavy-duty oxygen tank. I can pop you in here. And then I think you can actually just right-click on those to go home. You don't need to use your key. Which is good. So, we have a rocket. We have tools. We need food. I've got 1,500 Domino's pizzas. I'm pretty sure that will do fine. And the other thing I want to check is infinity energy cards. We've got 1,000 of them. That's perfect. And at the moment we've got 125,000 units of infinity energy. We just shift click all of these guys in here. That puts us up to 230,000 infinity energy. We've got plenty of food. We've got all of our bonuses going on. So I think I'm definitely going to need the spacesuit. I'm going to put the spacesuit on. That does lose me a lot of my protection bonus and a lot of my extra HP, but I don't think those are that necessary. So... Oh! Oh, our satellite guy came back down. Oh! So, I'm not really sure what happened with the first one. Because I wasn't on it, it appears to have just disappeared. But our satellite and satellite rocket came back down again. Oh, is that the original one? Oh. Interesting. There we go. You have discovered the moon. Lovely. So I'm going to put my return charm on my hotbar just in case. Food on the hotbar. We should have everything we need. Just check the inventory. We've got full fuel. We've got plenty of space in the inventory. Let's go to the moon. Up we go into space. Space race, you see my little face upon the space race. Okay, so this is Sol. We want to aim at the moon and we want to launch. Hold space to slow down. Yeah, yes. So yeah. We're now traveling at 10 meters a second or 10 blocks a second. In the top right hand corner over the top of the minimap, which I'm hoping we can move. Because that's a really inconvenient place to have it. We've got our oxygen bar and we've got our, I think that's our altitude bar. So I think as we drop down, that's going to go down. I can't actually see my Y level. So hold space, hold space, hold space, hold space. And ka-chunk. We are safely down onto the moon. Okay, so let's have a look at Galacticraft and see if we can move that. Toggle sensor goggles mode, galaxy map, no. So let's have a look at journey map and see if we can move the journey map. Which would be J, and then we look at options and minimap. Position, bottom right. There we go. So there we go. We've moved our minimap down to the bottom right. And again, we're in... Oh no, it did put us back into first person. Good. So we want the rocket pad and the fuel and the rocket ship. We also want some canisters. No? Let's have a look at fuel again. At Galacticraft fuel. We want empty canister. Okay. You want one of these guys, a couple of these guys, so. And then we can get our fuel back out of here because we are running a little low on fuel. And break that. So now we are up on the moon. Do we have Chaos? Chaos Tanzanite. There we go. And now we can explore the moon. We are looking for cheese ore and we are looking for meteorites on the moon. Now, meteorites are easy enough to spot. Meteorites land on the surface. Meteorites are basically just brown rocks on the surface. Now, if you can get to them early enough, they're worth more. And there are moon villages, of course. Now, we can't communicate with the moon village people yet because we don't have a communication thing. But they do grow food and they have trees. And they have wood and they have tin blocks. Ooh, was that cheese ore I saw, or is that just regular ore? That's copper ore. Okay, so there are normal ores about, but we are still looking for meteorites. And that's a second village right next to the first one. Huh, that's an interesting set of village spawns. So we are looking for meteorites. Usually they're reasonably far from your landing zone. They have to be in chunks that weren't generated when you landed. And they do fall over time as well. Now what I could do is I could get hold of another one of these return home amulets, and I could set a second home. I could set myself a different home. So there's cheese ore. That's good. Cheese ore doesn't really have a massive use. It's a use of source of food, source of slime, and a source of blocks of cheese. But other than that, it's not got a massive use. And then we have like copper ore and tin ore. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a fallen meteorite. Now, if we break it early, we should get bonus raw meteoric iron from it because we broke it when it was still hot. If you touch them when they're still hot, then they can cause damage. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those little kind of bits of broken stone. So that was a fresh fall. That was one that had fallen quite recently. So we're looking for little patches of broken stone, broken earth. And actually what we can do is if we hold the moon turf, like so, then thanks to our spectator, we should see glowing particle effects if there is any broken moon turf about. Like if an asteroid is landed and broken moon turf, we should see little bits of sparkle because we'll see where the moon turf is loose items, thanks to the observer. Now, if we have a look at our map, we have explored a reasonably large area. I think we landed over here. I think this is where we landed. So if we head back in that direction, we might be able to see a few that have crash landed near where we landed. Because I do think it is to do with like loaded chunks. Aha! So here we go. I think I have found a dungeon. So let's have a look where we are. We are all the way down here. We've explored this much of the map. And if I zoom in on this section, you can see that it's this kind of circular dark hole here. In fact, I may have missed a couple of them because I thought they were a bit more obvious than that. That might be one of them. Possibly. But I think this is a dungeon by the looks of it. So we've got everything we need. I think if we come around the corner... No, is this just a cave? Oh no, I think it might be a dungeon. Or is this just a cave down to bedrock? This is just a cave down to bedrock. Like that. Then we can explore some more with additional night vision powers. So that's where I was getting my night vision from. I was getting my night vision from my pickaxe when my helmet wasn't on. Which is kind of useful in a way. Screw it. So that wasn't a dungeon, which is frustrating. So we still need to find a dungeon before we can get the schematic. Are you a dungeon? You might be a dungeon. Yes, we found a dungeon. Okay. There we go. So we found a dungeon on the JEI minimap. If we go over to JEI now and we have a look over here, this thing here with the little black cross in the center, that's the dungeon. So they're a bit hard to find, but not terrible. And we've got some spawners here as well. Spawners are actually quite useful. Because when we break spawners, we get the spawners, and we can actually change the spawners into a different type. We can. Well, that was a sudden introduction of that music. Let's turn the music volume down because that was very loud. So we've got things like golden apples and. Heavy-duty shovels, redstone, enchantments, canned food. I mean, the dehydrated canned food is stuff we haven't picked up yet, so... Excuse me. Excuse me. And the boss at the end of this dungeon is going to be reasonably tough. But Canned food, empty canisters, meteoric iron. That's not bad. Meteoric iron's useful. Seems to be quite rare, so... I mean, the Moon Dungeon brick is pretty nice looking. Ah, here we go. Here's the boss. Evolved Skeleton Boss. Who is ridiculously easy. That was a lot of experience, all things considered. That was a lot of experience. And did he drop a key? Yes, he dropped a key. Tier 1 dungeon key. And we can go and pop the dungeon chest now. We have a chance of getting what we want. That's a NASA workbench schematic for a moon buggy. We didn't want a moon buggy, unfortunately. There we go, second dungeon. Lovely. So we now know that we can sort of hunt down dungeons if we want to. To be honest, the only thing in here that's actually going to attack me is the spiders. I have speed 2. I'm not scared of the spiders. I have speed 2 resistance, all sorts of other bonuses because of the rings I've got on. So I'm just going to run through and go and fight the boss. Ooh, evolved Enderman. Nice. Apparently I one-shot evolved Enderman. So let's just empty out our inventory, make sure we've got space for the stuff that he drops, because we don't want to lose any of it. The best way to not lose anything is to... There we go, and he's dead. And there is our dungeon key, and we can go and open another dungeon chest. And that gets us another moon buggy. So we need yet another dungeon. Oh, this game is so funny. I have a feeling this game might be slightly taking the mickey now. Okay, so apparently, like, if you don't have 2 full oxygen tanks, it starts to deal damage to you. That's odd. Okay. Okay, so I don't know why I died then. Um, I really don't know why I died. Also don't know... am I immune to damage while I'm ghostly? That's useful. I have no idea why I died there. At all. I had a valid oxygen setup. Is it radiation based, maybe? Wait, what? Where's my spacesuit gone? Was my spacesuit destroyed? Oh god, I think my spacesuit was destroyed. Right, I'm going to have to go home and remake my spacesuit. So I guess I will see you guys in a little while. Okay, so we're back. So the main pain in the backside with that was getting these oxygen compressors done because we need to go and compress some more steel. Luckily, steel-wise, we're not running too short. We've got 700 left between all the different ways of making steel. We've got plenty of diamond chickens. There's our rich slag chicken. We've got saltpeter chickens. Why didn't you want to pick up? We've got 10, 10, 10 chickens with the coal, which is good. And we've got some more obsidian chickens. Excellent. So we've got lots of lovely chickens. Now, I was wondering, like, I tried to charge these things in a charger and they wouldn't charge because we've got this. Tried to put them in here. So I clicked use on them. And apparently the way you fill these guys up is you put liquid experience into them. Which to me just seems completely barking. But... and doesn't work in the slightest because that's liquid XP and it says these guys use liquid XP. So what about the energy storage? Do we have any compressed steel left after I did all that? Use. No, we don't. I think I put some on to cook. No, that's... yeah, I've got some here. So let's put you on here. Can I charge batteries in this? Yes, I can, and they charge reasonably fast. Now, haha, energy storage module. Can I charge you in this? I can charge my space. So I think what happened was because I had no energy in my spacesuit. I think what happened was because I had no energy in my spacesuit, I lost the spacesuit, and that's what was causing me to die. Launchpad. Rocket. I don't know if this is going to be a ridiculously long episode. It probably is going to be a ridiculously long episode. But I just want to get this one thing of getting this rocket schematic. Now that means I'll probably have to heavily edit the episode, but that's fine. Welcome back to the moon. I've probably got the sound turned down too low because I was playing Hollow Knight. And the sound doesn't remember very well. Okay, so let's see. So we have been to that dungeon. And we have been to that dungeon. We are currently landed here. So are there any dungeons in this direction? Okay, so my computer is still labouring really hard to deal with this. Just because of the sheer amount of exploring I've been doing. I'm going to have to cut immediately after this dungeon because there's definitely a memory leak going on and it is having a nasty effect on my computer. I mean, you can see the freezes we've had, but I did manage to find myself another dungeon. So we're going to go into the dungeon and we're going to have a little explore, grab at what we can, including some meteoric iron and some oil. And once we've grabbed everything we can, if the game doesn't crash before then, I will hope we get a tier 2 rocket schematic. This is going to be ridiculous if I don't, because there's only 2 schematics you can get, and we've gotten one of them twice so far. So I mean, it doesn't work. That, like, that's not how maths works. It doesn't work in the way that, like, a lot of people think it should work. The laws of average doesn't state that you have to get it this try if you didn't get it the other tries, but we've got a decent chance. And there's the dungeon key. Please give me the tier 2 rocket schematic. Moon buggy again. That's our 3rd moon buggy. This is ridiculous, but I can't continue doing this because generating so much terrain, pretty sure I've gotten a memory leak at some point from generating all that terrain. Or I've gotten a memory leak that's been kind of nastily enhanced by generating all that terrain. So what I'm going to do is I will call it here, and we will come back in the next episode. We will probably start the next episode with a montage of me from 4 or 5 hours time after I've restarted the computer and purged everything, looking for or finding more moon dungeons and hopefully getting the actual tier 2 rocket schematic. So thank you all for watching. I've been the Gaming Droid, and this has been Skyblock 3, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye, everybody.